Good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I got a gameplay review of Cosmos 11. If you are not familiar with this game, it is one of the few sports games few legit sport games on the Wax blockchain. It is a soccer style. You're a manager for a soccer team, and I apologize for those of you that outside the States, football. I hope I don't offend anyone when I call it soccer. But it is a soccer style game where you get a team, you get a coach, medic. You're basically running a whole soccer team and you go against other soccer teams. You have the ability to level up your facilities, and more continues to get added to this game, which makes it an interesting one. It's been a highly requested one. I also got lucky, and on Twitter I was able to win one of the striker packs. So that's really what's allowed me to go ahead and do this gameplay review here for you. So keep that in mind. Before we really jump into this, I want to go ahead and do the normal disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any game. Make sure it's right for you. Don't just listen to me because I showed you a video and showed you how to do a gameplay. Make sure it is the best situation for you. All right, now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about Cosmos 11. Again, this is a soccer game where you have a chance to make up your own team. You can stake your in-game token, which is DIM, and you can play in tournaments. You can build up your facilities, all the stuff I had mentioned before. I'm not going to spend too much time on the website itself. It's really the first ever, they say, football manager game. For me, it's soccer manager game. So it's pretty neat. It's also the twist to this is it's not like what you would see right now as far as soccer in the world the way it is today. It's basically a futuristic mode where you have aliens, robots, and humans all on your same team. So it gives you that intergalactic style of play with it. Also, again, you build your facilities. And the roadmap they have here, I'm not going to really spend too much time on it because they continue to build out the actual gameplay itself. And it really, the roadmap, the thing that I hesitate on, it stopped earlier this year, which I wish they would go through the process to update this. But it is what it is. This has been around for a while. This was actually around when I first started with Wax. I tried it a little bit, but it was still very, very, very early in the stage where they only had staking. So now we're actually going to go ahead and go through the actual gameplay. The white paper itself, and you can access the white paper. I'll have a link to the website, Cosmos11.com, in the description down below. And to get to the white paper, you go ahead and click on the link up here. You can also get to the other items, the play, where you can actually play the game, staking and all that, all on the website. When you go to the white paper itself, this is probably one of the longest white papers I've seen so far on Wax. 86 pages. And I'll tell you right now, I am not going to go through this. This could be multiple videos, a whole series of videos around the different parts of this game. The main thing that I wanted to show you is actual gameplay, show you the inside of it, how it really works, not necessarily the strategic side. So if we have enough interest, I'll go ahead and do some additional videos around the strategic side. But I wanted to show you how the gameplay looks, give you the basic information so you can help you make a decision if this is a game that you want to look into a little bit more. Again, I'm not going to dig through this 86 pages. It's quite a bit. But let's go back. Actually, before we jump into the game, I want to go ahead and open my pack on video. Show you guys, if you go out there and you buy a striker pack, they're relatively cheap. Cheapest one right now is a little over 7 wax. It gives you almost a full team. It doesn't give you a coach, but it gives you players. It gives you a tactic. A tactic is basically your formation. And a medic that'll help you heal. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we will go ahead and open this up so you can actually see what it looks like in case you're interested. You can see what it gets pulled up. I'm imagining it's going to be very low level type of players, but we'll see how it works out. So we are opening it now. Again, there's a medic, a tactic, and players. It has a nice little animation here. And then, again, this is the striker pack. Yeah, it looks like these are lower levels. We got talent 4s. Those are pretty good. But There we go. And we got the tactic. And then we got this one right here is the medic, which is the basically a common medic. So overall, not the greatest pool, but it's a decent. It gives me enough players to go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and press play. Again, a striker pack has the lower chances, but it gives you a full team. At least you can get started. I do have some additional cards that I've had previously, had some gifted to me, and then I just bought a coach so I could show you adding a coach into the game. All right, now that we have jumped in here, this first screen you're going to see is the news screen, basically any updates that they may have going throughout the game. Across the side here, you have the news. Actually, we'll go through the top first. If you go across, you see that there are 60 managers online, 60 players basically. Your wallet, where you currently are as far as status goes, your rating. If you lose, the rating goes down. If you win, the rating goes up. The total NFTs that you have, the balance in your in your Wax wallet, and the balance that is in your in-game wallet, and then the resources that you have. And down here you can see the last couple matches played. While I was just talking about the top row, you saw another person jumped in here as far as another match played. On the side here, you have the news tab. You have my assets, which goes through and tells you all the assets that you have. Scanner, which is basically the leaderboard. You can go ahead and search your wallet, and it'll pull up your account. History is basic last games that you have played. You see I have not done very well. And then Vault. This is a way where you can stake your in-game token over a period of time. For example, it locks for 20 days, and you can earn passive DIM just as it sits in there. You cannot pull it out, and you can only stake more every 5 days. Now, if you go across the bottom here, these are the different game types. You have the dashboard, which we're on right now. The next is the staking. The staking is if you have any players that you are not playing or not using at the time, you can go ahead and stake them and also earn some passive DIM. Again, DIM is the in-game token. The only caveat with this is actually there's two. If they're staked in here, you cannot use them to play, so keep that in mind. And you are not eligible to actually use this until you've played 10 games. So you have to go through the process of playing 10 games, then this will unlock for you. So right now I have no players staked in this because I haven't played 10 games yet. Next is the facilities. These are 3 facilities, and I know they continue to add more that you can upgrade by spending your DIM on them. Basically, right now I have the ability to stake 80 cards in that last screen that I just showed you. I only have 27, so it doesn't matter, but if I get to the point where I have more than 80, you can upgrade the staking house, by spending the DIM that's listed there to go ahead and move it up to the new max cards. Coaching station just means you can add additional coaches, which is each coach gives you different bonuses. And similar with the hospital, you can add additional medics, and each of them give you a medic or a basic bonus also. Next is quests. What you can do here is you can actually run your individual players on different quests to give them experience points, which allows you to go ahead and upgrade their skills. There's 2 options that you have here. You have, if you have a quest house, you can go ahead and select that, but there's also the option of not using a quest house. I don't have one, so I selected that. That's why it's showing here. It's a base quest, but you'll have another option here to show you that. Leagues and tournaments, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I think would be a whole separate video on this. The price just to get into a league is 10,000 DIM. Tournaments also has a price to get into. The nice thing about tournaments is if it comes up here, you actually have the ability to win wax as a prize. DIM is also a prize, but you have the tournaments, you can win some wax. So that's a nice addition that they have on there. Again, if you're all interested, I can go ahead and do a separate video on the leagues and tournaments in a lot more detail. But just because there's so much as far as different features, and I don't want this video to go too long, I'm going to focus on this last option over here, which is the play option. What the play option does, it allows you to set up your lineups. It allows you to withdraw, deposit different token, the dim token, and it also allows you to play friendlies once you have a lineup set up. Let's start from the top and go down. This is what you currently have in your in-game wallet, which matches this number up here, and your Wax wallet. You can go ahead and either withdraw it, which I'm not going to do, actually, or you can go ahead and deposit. And deposit is pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and deposit 500. Just add to it. You'll see it reduce from the top one here and add to here. It's going to go through the authentication process. I'm not a huge fan of this little screen. I understand that they're trying to give the look to it as far as a computer one to give you all the tracking. It's all right. You saw this go up. You saw my total go down. My account balance here go down. And then we can go press back, and we'll go ahead and set up our lineup. I have no lineups in here now. I removed it just for the sake of the video. Let's go ahead and add new lineup. You can name it whatever you want here. Just going to call it Team 1. You see my current score is 0. Current stamina is 0. So the first thing you're going to select is the tactic, which is basically your formation. If I go ahead and hit select, I have 2 tactics. I have this one, which is more of a defense one. You have your goalkeeper at the bottom, which means if more players in the back or on the bottom, you have more of a defense strategy. And then we got this one, which is more of an offensive strategy. We're going to select this one. Obviously, I want to have a little bit of offense there. Like I said, in the white paper, there is a ton of different strategy that you could really dive into this game, especially if you're an avid soccer fan. You probably know a lot more about the tactics than I do, but I'm just going to go ahead and use this one for this video. So we'll go ahead and select pick up here on the top. And then you'll see the formation shows up over here. So you go down and you start going through the different players and the different coaches. You can see just by adding a tactic, my score went up to 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a coach. I only have one coach. So I'll select that guy and hit pick. And with a medic, I have 2 medics. I'm going to use the epic one just because it has the higher bonus. Go ahead and use that. You can go ahead and just take a look at the different characteristics, and you see here, if this is that other screen where I showed you, if you go ahead and stake them, if you're not using it and you want to stake it, that's how much dim you're going to get every hour from this player. So now I have my coach, and now I have my medic assigned. I don't believe you need a coach in order to play. I picked one up just to show you how you put them in there. Now you get to down here. I initially thought the fill would fill it with the best roster. It doesn't. Oh, this time it did do it. It didn't do it before. So that actually makes it a whole lot easier. When I was playing this out earlier today, when I pressed that, it did not fill it. So I'm happy that it actually works. If you want to fill it with the best players available for each of the positions, you can go ahead and hit that fill button, or you can go through individually by clicking on the circle and selecting your player and pressing pick. But since the fill did it all for me, that makes things a whole lot easier. And make sure you go ahead and save. It's going to authenticate. There we go. And now it's saved. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play a friendly. Once it's all done going through this, there we go. Now you can see that you have a team there. Make sure you select the activate button. And now let's go ahead and you see my strength is 102. Press play. Actually, I'm sorry, go back. And then you're going to select friendlies if you want to do one-on-one competitions. You have a choice of basically committing 100 dim, 500, 2,000, 5,000, and 20,000 because my team is not very good. The last 2 games I played, I think I had a maximum of 20% chance to win. We're going to stick with the 100. And then we'll go ahead and press enter queue. And what's going to happen is it's going to go ahead and go through the authentication process and put you in the queue. And now you sit here and wait for someone to jump in there. You've got a few people jumped in here. So let's go ahead and see if I play any of them. It's kind of weird how it selects it sometimes. You think it'd be first in, first out. I think it tries to match them as close as possible. Based on these 2 ratings, I have a feeling I would lose both of these games. So what I'm going to do here is fast forward until it lets us actually play a game. And there we go. We played it. You see up here, it shows you whether you won or lost. I had an 18% chance of winning, so I lost 2-0. It's kind of a bummer. To be honest with you, that this is where I have a little bit of an issue with the game. The two things I don't like is it goes straight from the queue to the results. I wish there was some sort of simulation, some sort of showing the game, and not necessarily. I know it's not to the point where you can actually play the game, but if there's just like a quick simulation of how they got to that score, that would be interesting to me. But they don't have that in there right now. The other thing is I keep getting matched against people that are way better than I am. Like, not even a chance. Like, you saw 18% chance of actually winning that game. That's been about the best chance I've had so far. So those are my two gripes with the game. I think just the more players that get into the game, the more options you'll have with who you play against. It'd be nice if you could select who you play against within a certain range, but there's just not enough players in the game right now. So if I continue to keep playing, I'd probably keep playing the same players and continue to lose. I guess that's my only really gripe. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about other than the gripe. I think it's an interesting game. It's been around for over a year. Like I said, it was really launching when I started playing wax games. I did buy into this early when it only had the staking. So I'm actually jumping back into it to test it out. They've added a lot of features. Like I said, you have leagues, you have tournaments. If you can get the cards, get some good players, you'll have a pretty good team. The packs that I put together is really only like less than a 10 wax pack. So if you decide if you're really into soccer or football and you like this manager style game, you can get into it at a decent price, obviously depending on your situation, and get a pretty good team together. Mine's a cheap, very, 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 very cheap team, mostly just because I just wanted to show the gameplay. Don't think I'll stay in the game. It's just not really my style, but I know there's a lot of people out there that really love this game, so I don't want to deter anyone from jumping into the game, because it is a quality game. They have a good team around it. They continue to add features. They've been around for a while, so it's not a rug pull. So it's if you like soccer, this is really the game you want to check out. What I'm going to do as part of this video, and as part of if you jump over to my Discord, I'm going to go ahead and give away the striker pack that I opened up here earlier on the video. What I'm going to give away is the 11 cards that were in that striker pack. It's this top row, this next row, and then if I scroll down just a smidge, it's this tactic. So go over to my Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Go ahead and enter, and I'll be giving away all 11 cards that were in the striker pack to one lucky winner. We'll go ahead and run it for 2 days, starting when I launch the video. So I hope you all enjoy this, especially if you like the game. Go ahead and jump over there and enter to win. Thank you all for your time. Let me know if you're playing. Let me know how you're doing. What's your rank? I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.